we would like to request the shareholders to limit their speech to 3 minutes. During the annual general meeting, if any member faces any technical issue, he or she may contact the helpline number mentioned in the notice of the annual general meeting. Soft copy of the annual report for the financial year 2021-22 and the notice of the annual general meeting has been sent to all the shareholders whose email addresses have been registered with the registrar and transfer agent and the depository participant. The notice and the annual report of the company can also be viewed on the website of the company as well as the websites of the stock exchanges, that is NSE and BSE. Mr. Manoj Jain, Chairman of Mahanagar Gas Limited, being indisposed, is not able to join the annual general meeting. He has conveyed his best wishes to the company for the upcoming financial year and expressed gratitude to the members attending the annual general meeting. The directors have elected Mr. Sanjeev Datta, Managing Director of the company, as the Chairman for the 27th annual general meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Chairman, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Atul Prabhu. Good morning, shareholders. I would like to welcome all of you to the 27th annual general meeting of your company being held through video conferencing. As the requisite quorum is present, I now call the meeting in order. The directors of your company have joined through video conferencing facility. Now, I would like to introduce all of them. Myself, Sanjeev Datta, Managing Director. Mr. Sanjay Shinde, Deputy Managing Director. Mr. Syed Hussain, Independent Director and Chairman of Nomination and Remuneration Committee and Stakeholders Relationship Committee. Mr. S. Venkatraman, Independent Director and Chairman of Audit Committee. Mrs. Malvika Sinha, Independent Director and Chairperson of Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. Mr. Rajiv Bhaskar Shahi, Independent Director and Chairman of Risk Management Committee. Mr. Rajesh Patel, Chief Financial Officer of the company, is also present in the meeting. The representatives of the statutory auditors, Messrs. SRBC and Company LLP, and the representatives of the secretarial auditors, Mrs. Dholakia and Associates LLP, have also joined this meeting through video conferencing from their respective locations. I thank all the members who have joined this meeting through video conferencing. I hope that the members are safe and in good condition of health. In view of continuing COVID-19 pandemic and keeping in mind the safety and security of the members and employees of the company, the annual general meeting is being convened through video conferencing in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Securities and Exchange Board of India. GAIL and Government of Maharashtra have appointed their authorized representatives for the annual general meeting. Since there is no requirement of physical attendance of the members, the requirement of appointing proxies is not applicable. The statutory registrars and other documents are available electronically for inspection during the AGM. Members seeking to inspect such documents can send an email to 27th AGM@mahanagargas.com. Members who have not voted earlier through remote e-voting facility can cast their votes during the course of this meeting through the e-voting facility. The notice calling the 27th annual general meeting and the annual report for the financial year 2021-22 have already been circulated to all the eligible shareholders electronically. The reports of the statutory auditor and secretarial auditor for the financial year 2021-22 are self-explanatory in nature. Further, your company is in compliance with the statutory requirements of composition of board and its committees as on today. With your permission, I take the notice convening this annual general meeting, the director's report, auditor's report, secretarial auditor around 6,221 km and 290 compressed natural gas filling stations allow us to serve millions of households, large number of vehicles and multiple industries with a Swachh and Surakshit fuel. Businesses worldwide had seen a turbulent time last year due to waves of COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical events, resulting in economic turmoil. In spite of the challenges, your company had collectively put up a sterling physical and financial performance. Your company is committed to ensure uninterrupted supply of natural gas to all its customers. During the year, Mahanagar Gas Limited has established connectivity with 2.62 lakh domestic households and added 24 new CNG stations and upgraded 26 CNG stations. Overall, your company has established pipe natural gas connectivity with 18.6 lakh households and supplies compressed natural gas through 290 CNG stations. During financial year 2022, your company saw a rise in its revenue from operations by 66.18% as compared to the previous year, to reach a turnover of rupees 38,849 million. The profit after tax decreased from rupees 6,196 million in financial year 2021 to rupees 5,969 million in financial year 2022, registering a marginal reduction of 3.66%. Due to the obvious impact of higher gas cost, the company's earnings before interest, depreciation, tax and amortization margin reduced to 26% during financial year 2022 as compared to 43% in financial year 2021. As part of its growth strategies, your company looks forward to investing in building comprehensive city gas distribution ecosystem. Mahanagar Gas Limited is in the process of setting up 2 liquefied natural gas stations. This, coupled with rollout of liquefied natural gas commercial vehicles by other original equipment manufacturers, will set the momentum in the medium to long term for making our presence at City Gas Station Sion, which has started charging commercial as well as passenger electric cars. Moreover, your company work across more geographic regions through greenfield initiatives, partnerships and alliances to reach more customer segments, which in turn will contribute towards company's financial growth. One of the areas of achieving growth could be mergers and acquisition opportunities in the area of city gas distribution. We acknowledge the importance of diversification and building a separate and robust revenue stream, and it will be our task to make that happen. Digital initiative for providing differentiated service to our customers at competitive prices is an area which we consider to be very important in order to develop brand loyalty and customer stickiness. The board has proposed a final dividend of rupees 15.50 per share for financial year 2021-22 as compared to rupees 14 for financial year 2020-2021. A growing population is expected to increase demand for commercial and domestic natural gas. The government is promoting use of piped natural gas and it will further improve demand for natural gas. Taking advantage of an opportune business landscape, we aspire to penetrate deeper into existing markets while
अपना 2 पेज में अपना अवार्ड जीता है सर। वो अवार्ड के लिए मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई सर। हो सके तो महानगर अगर आपको कोई भी नजदीक में हो सके, आप गेट टुगेदर रखिए आपको ऑफिस में, दिवाली के बाद छोटा एनालिस्ट मीट रखिए सर। तो हम आपसे मिलना चाहते हैं सर। 3 साल हो गए सर आपसे मुलाकात नहीं सर। छोटे से चेयर पे सर, दिल में दूरी है, दिल में दूरी है, क्या करें। पर दिल, एक कोरोना ने सर हमारे दिल की दूरी दूर कर दी है। अब हो सके तो आने वाले सर लास्ट बोनस आपने कब दिया था सर, ये मैं जानना चाहता हूँ, लास्ट बोनस। और आपने डिविडेंड तो एक्सीलेंट दिया, और अपना कंपनी सेक्रेटरी को जितना धन्यवाद दो इतना कम है। उन्होंने मुझे फिजिकल कॉपी भेजा जो अराउंड 200 पेजेस का है। इतना अच्छे बैलेंस शीट है सर, मैंने कभी कोई कंपनी का नहीं देखा। अपना मेन कंपटीशन कौन है? इंडियन ऑयल, एचपीसीएल, बीपीसीएल, ये तीन कंपनी सेम ग्रुप की, उसमें और अपना में क्या कंपटीशन मैं जानना चाहता हूँ। व्हाट कंपटीशन में फेसिंग सर, मेरा डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है। एंड सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टाफ हो सके तो सर मुझे जानना था। ये अपना कोविड-19 में आपको कोई इफेक्ट हुआ सर, मैं जानना चाहता हूँ। कोविड-19 में आपको क्या असर इफेक्ट हुआ अपने कंपनी को? और सब रिजोल्यूशन में मैं फुल सपोर्ट करता हूँ। मेरा हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है, हो सके तो दिवाली के बाद छोटा सा गेट टुगेदर रखिए आपको ऑफिस में सर। इट इज माई हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट सर एंड नथिंग मोर टू इट। अभी सर गणेश चतुर्थी चल रहा है सर, आपको गणेश की बहुत शुभकामना। अगर हो सके तो आपसे गणेश की जगह आपका, अगर आपने गणेश का कुछ रखा है फेस्टिवल, तो मुझे भी सर बुलाइए सर इस फेस्टिवल में सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच। और अपना कंपनी सेक्रेटरी को बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, और उनके आपको, और सर आपको फुल हेल्थ और फुल बोर्ड को मेरे तरफ से धन्यवाद सर। आज सर मैं वीडियो से बात करता हूँ, सर। आपको देख नहीं सकते आप मुझे, पर आप मेरा आवाज सुन सकते हैं सर। मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ और आपको सैल्यूट करता हूँ सर। जय हिंद सर। हो सके तो मुझे सर 50 अगस्त जो गया आपका इंडिपेंडेंस 75 ईयर, उसका सर स्वीट भेजिए सर। दिस इज स्मॉल रिक्वेस्ट सर। तो ऐसा 75 ईयर का सर हमें कुछ मीठा हो जाए सर। दिस इज माई हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट सर, नथिंग मोर टू इट। आई एंड माई स्पीच हियर ओनली सेइंग जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की।
Thank you very much. I now request Speaker Shareholder number 6 connected on audio, Ms. Prakashini G. Shenoy. Please proceed. Ms. Prakashini G. Shenoy, please proceed with your question. Ms. Prakashini G. Shenoy, yes, we can hear you, ma'am. Please proceed.
Yeah. I'm Prakashini G. Shenoy from Bombay. Respected Honorable Chairman, other dignitaries from the board, and my fellow shareholders, good morning to all of you. I received the AGM report, the annual report, which is colorful, informative, transparent, knowledgeable, and contains all the information as per the corporate governance. I thank the company secretary and our team for the same. I should not forget to thank them once again for reminding me of the meeting and giving me the link for the same. Thank you once again. And at the outset, I'm thankful to the chairman for giving a clear picture about the company, its working, etc., etc. I congratulate for the robust performance of the company. I am grateful to the board for recommending dividend for the financial year. Thank you, sir. Sir, I have few questions. What is the roadmap for next 5 years, and how many connections in respect of commercial and housing is pending? Please let me know. And my last question is, how is the company planning to progress towards digital future? I wish the company good luck for a bright future and pray God that the profit of the company shall reach the peak in due course. Sir, I support all the resolutions put forth in today's meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Speaker Shareholder number 8, NVS Brokerage Private Limited, did not join the AGM. Speaker Shareholder number 9, Ms. Hatokshi Sam Patel, did not join the AGM. Speaker Shareholder number 10, Ms. Jyotsna Shantilal Kansara, did not join the AGM. Over to you, Chairman, sir, for further proceedings.
Thank you. First of all, let me thank all the shareholders who have offered their suggestions, comments, observations, and raised some questions to respond and also think about. So now we go back to the list question queue, and first question that we wish to take up is, let us start with Rajesh, our CFO, the receivables. the bad debts and unrecoverable debt as on 31/3/2022, if you can have a response, and the credit period.
Yeah.
There are two questions from Mr. Keval Kumarji.
Yeah. Sir, as far as increase in trade receivable is concerned, main reason is because of the average price which has gone up during the year compared to the last year. The price rise in case of domestic as well as in case of CNG was done mainly to pass through the increase in the gas cost. So with the higher prices, the debtors has remained same. However, as far as, and also some part is on account of the increase in the volume compared to the previous year. If you look at previous year, March 20, in the end of March, there was impact of COVID, so debtors was less. So coupled with volume increase in the current year and the price increase, both has impacted the overall increase in the trade receivable as of March 22. Coming to bad debts, we have accounted roughly 85 lakhs rupees as bad debts. This consists of customers who are disconnected, and also there is a provision on account of the policy related bad debts which we provide. So wherever there is a collectible which are more than 3 years, we have provided and written off such debts during the year. Total is around 85 lakhs. The net impact on the PNL is around 73 lakhs because earlier years we had made some provision. Out of that, around 12 lakhs was recovered during the year. So net impact during the year on account of write off of bad debt is around 73 lakhs.
On credit period?
There is no change in credit period as such compared to the earlier this. So it remains more or less same. However, there could be some amount of assessment sale which could be varying compared to the earlier year, because the last quarter of the March 22 had some impact of COVID during January and February. So that's all.
And one question from Madam Mrs. Lekha Shah on impact of second wave of COVID. Would you like to explain in terms of physical and financial impact?
Yeah. If you look at during the year, there was an impact of COVID, especially in the first 2 months of the year, that is April 21 and May 21, and also the third wave of COVID during January 22 and part of February 22. So if you look at the average volumes clicked by the company is around 3 MMSCMD. Had this impact of around 3.5 months would not have been there, the volumes could have been in the range of around 3.2 to 3.3 MMSCMD. So that is the impact on account of COVID, and this is mainly on mainly in CNG customer. Because of the lockdown, the traffic was less. However, due to lockdown, there is an marginal increase in case of domestic consumption as people are at home, and there is a cooking gas consumption which has increased compared to this. Yeah.
Now, would you also respond to Mr. Rangwala's comment on bonus and dividend?
Sir, we are listed in the year 2016. So there is no bonus as far as history of the company is concerned. We have not issued any bonus because you wanted to know whether past have we issued any bonus shares. Okay. As far as dividend is concerned, as MD Sir covered in his speech, we have declared overall dividend of 25 rupees per share in the current year, which is an increase of 2 rupees compared to last year, which was 23 rupees per share. And we continue to maintain the similar increase in the dividend with the growth of the company and the profitability of the company in the future years to come.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Patel. So now we take up the questions. There are quite a few questions related to EV and how it is going to likely to impact our CNG business. Mr. Keval Kumarji had touched upon EV charging, how many stations we have the facility of EV charging. So currently we have only one station because our own stations face lot of queue from CNG vehicles. Now, in situ charging of a EV vehicle in our station actually consumes the space, which can be better utilized by putting a dispenser and using that space for dispensing CNG. So we are very selective about putting up EV charging facility in our stations. But since it is, very carefully we assess the situation and then we'll go for it. So currently we have only one station and there are no immediate plans to put more facility at our other stations. Now coming to the impact of EV on our CNG business, I would request Sanjay, Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Shande to respond.
More CNG variants are being rolled out by OEMs, that is original equipment manufacturers, and customers are now having more options in CNG both in commercial and passenger segment, which was earlier a limiting factor. The current high natural gas price is an aberration which would subside with the stability in the global geopolitical environment and make room for faster conversion. Conversion in EV as of now is mostly seen in two-wheelers and to certain extent four-wheelers, but the industry has to address many challenges in its growth journey, especially for the charging points and the other infrastructure. The total cost of ownership difference with the EV is more in the case of diesel and petrol than CNG, and thus the impact would be on diesel and petrol, much more on diesel and petrol before it percolates or it starts hitting the CNG segment. However, the light commercial vehicle, the medium commercial vehicle and the heavy commercial vehicle segment, whose fuel requirements are much higher compared to the other vehicles, sees more benefit of CNG and also LNG, both for the short haul as well as for the long haul. And significant conversions are already happening in this space. EV would take time to come up with the solutions for this in this segment. However, on the other hand, the hydrogen requires almost similar ecosystem as that of CNG and catch up fast and pose a real challenge to EVs. In all, it seems that in the mid to long term horizon of 5 to 10 years, there would be coexistence of all types of fuels with enough room for CNG to not only maintain but grow further.
There was one more question with respect to increasing the revenue or the top line. What is the breakup of top line increase into volume growth and price increase? Overall, roughly 1400 crore is the increase in the revenue or top line, which is made up of around 700 crores on account of volume and almost similar amount on account of rate increase or price increase. One more question, I think, asked by Mr. Vinod Agarwal with respect to reduction in price and competitiveness with respect to HPCL and IOCL. If you look at Mahanagar Gas's business, there is no direct competition. However, with respect to petrol and diesel, they are indirectly competing with CNG. If you look at current prices also, we have almost energy equivalent difference of pricing in the range of 20 to 30% depending on the type of car the person uses, CNG and petrol. And also there is a energy equivalent difference between the price of CNG and diesel anywhere in the range of 10 to 12%. So this still gives the competitiveness with respect to other liquid fuels as far as CNG is concerned. There was one more question with respect to reason for price reduction which we have taken recently in this month. This was mainly done, there was a change in the APM allocation policy. Earlier the government had announced on 6th of May allocation of APM gas at uniform basic price. Recently in this month, the decision of uniform basic price was reversed and allocation of CGD as such has been increased for this quarter almost up to 94% as far as APM allocation is concerned, and the APM price applicable for this quarter is $6.26 per MMBTU, and balance whatever is the requirement as far as priority sector, that is CNG and domestic PNG is concerned. Each CGD has its freedom to add market determined gas prices. So considering the reduction from 10.52, which was a prevailing price before 6.26 was made applicable, and the amount of market determined gas which the company will be mixing up for catering to this sector, the overall impact of the gas cost has reduced at least for this quarter. So accordingly, we have done the pass on of this reduction in the weighted average gas cost. So that keeps the momentum of vehicles getting converted onto CNG, and it helps us in the long run. However, the decision will be reviewed as and when there is a increase or change in the gas cost going forward, maybe in the coming months and the coming quarters. Okay, so we will try and balance the pricing as far as CNG is concerned, so that the momentum of CNG vehicle coming onto fleet increases, and there's a trade-off between price as well as good value proposition remains with the consumers who are using CNG as well as PNG.
Thank you, Rajesh, for this detailed, elaborate explanation. Now, there was a question with regard to total number of employees. Mr. Rangwala had asked, and Mrs. Lekha Shah, you had asked about the number of women employees. So, as on 31st of March 2022, it was 491, and as on date, it is 494 is the total employee strength of the company, and out of that, 48 employees are women employees. So, close to 10% of our employees are women employees. And before I come to the roadmap, 2-3 questions were there on roadmap and digital future. Before that, Mr. Ashish Bansal had asked about the procedure for change of name. So there is there's a laid down procedure about change of name, and what we will do, our customer service desk, we will ask them to get in touch with you and guide you through the process of, there will some documentation needs to be collected, and that process is not tedious, it's seamless, but we have some formalities to complete. So we will advise our CRM desk to get in touch with you and steer you through this process, so that your name change will be done expeditiously. Now, coming to roadmap, the company, as you are aware that there are some opportunities and challenges which are visible in our business environment. The challenges are primarily coming from EV, and maybe into 7 to 10 year horizon, the challenge may be emerging from hydrogen. So currently the plan is to quickly roll out infrastructure. There is a good window of opportunity that is with us, because we have seen almost 500,000 increase in volume in the current financial year. In the current calendar year, from the beginning of the year to now, there is a huge spurt in volume that we are witnessing. We want to capture that, we want to ride that growth. A lot of commercial vehicles which were so far not switching over to CNG have started showing interest, primarily because a lot of OEMs have started coming out with factory fitted CNG kits in the commercial segment category, and we are gearing up to cater to this segment, which would call for remodeling of our CNG outlets. So PNG, in any case, we did 2.62 lakh this year. The target is 3 lakh connectivity we wish to roll out, if not more. We are targeting 25 plus CNG station, new CNG stations. But what we have set our sight on is we are embarking on a 5-year roadmap which talks about doubling of our volume, tripling of our margin, and not only that, it's very important for us to diversify, because our traditional core areas are likely to come under some threat from competitive fuels. So we want that in 5 years' time, we should 1/4 of our revenue should come from a diversified portfolio, maybe in related areas, maybe in new areas. And we want to embark in a big way on digital transformation, because what we find that the customer segment, all our customer segments are becoming very discerning, and they are demanding certain services which were not traditionally being offered by the CGD companies. And many of these services which are on demand are related to conveniences which are offered through digital interventions, be it queuing time in a CNG station, which people want to see in an app. What would be when a CNG user wants to get a tank filled, he wants to know if he approaches station A or station B or station C in a vicinity, what is the queuing time? And similarly, there are different types of requirements of a PNG consumer, and digital is going to play a big role in ensuring customer loyalty, because we are also looking at loyalty programs which we want to launch so that the stickiness of our customers enhances with MGL, because sooner or later the marketing exclusivity for MGL may end, but we want to very strongly entrench ourselves in a position of strength so that we retain the customer and accordingly we retain our business. So there is a roadmap, the 3 pillars of which are going to be doubling the volume growth in 5 years time, 3 times the margin, and 1/4 of the revenue should come from diversification opportunities which we wish to pursue during this period. So this is broadly the roadmap for the company over the next 5 years. And with this, I think any other questions that have been left out?
Just one question regarding CNG cars. Mr. Vinod Agrawal had asked about the impact of higher price on the CNG car sales introduction, and what is the likely future for that. As sir, you have correctly said that in the latest report of Society for Indian Automobile Manufacturer, they have claimed that against 30,000 cars being introduced every month, the sale has come down to 25,000 cars, which is correct. The point is, in last couple of months, the price of CNG was going up because of the international geopolitical reasons, as was explained by Chairman sir. Now we expect that the delta is obviously maintained. We are presently, with respect to petrol, there is 15% delta. We are better, CNG is more cost effective by almost 15% compared to petrol. However, the 2 things which will happen. One is the impact of the higher gas prices are likely to soften once the geopolitical situation normalizes. Second is the present petrol price and diesel prices also artificially lowered. And as you must have seen that the oil companies' profitability has taken a major hit. So this is not something which we can go on for a longer time. So we hope that the attractiveness of CNG cars should increase, and whatever little amount of loss of sale which OEMs have experienced, they should be able to catch it up.
Good. So I think with this, we have come to the end of this question answer session. In case any of the registered speakers could not join, I think NVS brokerage could not join, and
Hutokshi
Sam Patel and Mrs. Josna Shantilal Kansara. So in case any of the registered speakers could not join or speak due to technical reasons, or queries raised during this meeting have remained unanswered, the queries may be sent to the company through email. The same shall be responded to suitably. Now I request Mr. Atul Prabhu, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer, to conduct the voting procedure and conclude the meeting. The e-voting facility will remain open for next 30 minutes to enable the members to cast the votes electronically. I once again take the opportunity to thank all shareholders of the company for attending the annual general meeting and for your continued support to the company. I also extend my thanks to the board of directors of the company for joining the video meeting through video conferencing today. I also express my thanks to the officers and employees and all other stakeholders of the company for reposing your trust in the company. The voting results along with the scrutinizer's report shall be submitted to the stock exchanges within 2 working days of conclusion of the annual general meeting for dissemination. With your consent, myself and all other board members would like to leave the meeting, and I announce formal closure of the 27th annual general meeting of the company and declare the meeting has been concluded. I request all the shareholders to stay safe and healthy at this time. Thank you very much.